Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays the Binding of Isaac AFTERBIRTH Plus. One of these days, they're gonna give us a good Lilith item. Wouldn't you say, Ruka? Come on up, buddy. Hey, my good luck charm. My fluffy son. 24XS XX Foys. You know what? I want to start this episode with the two sweetest words in the English language. What's that? Free dinner? Nah, no such thing. What is it? Good morning? Nah. Unlikely. You know what it is? Rolling Stone! You guys played Daytona USA? No? Alright, well, if you did, you'll remember. It's, you know, just the start of the greatest song. In video game history. I know you're going, that's not the greatest song in video game history. What about like so yeah, remix that. That's the newer Hyrule Castle. That's not Hyrule Castle, sorry, it's Hylian Field remixed. Courtesy of the Hikari Woodwind Quintet. Okay, now we got a bomb. We can go back here and re-roll this garbage. Turn it in to something beautiful. Now that's a cosmic joke. We know that we can't take that and get any benefit out of it as Lilith, so we will abstain for the present moment. Hopefully we'll be able to pick it up later. There is a good reason to pick it up in general, which would be if we respawn like we did in our last run, we'll be modestly, but still not really that happy to have it, but definitely would like to turn it into something else. No, the greatest song in video game history isn't, you know, boom boom boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, bum. Ba, boom, boom, bum. It's Donkey Kong Country. Courtesy of the Hikari Woodwind Quintet. No, you know what? That one's courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue. Toby Keith style. That's right. Courtesy of the French flag. That's not what the song's about. The song's about putting a boot up your butt is the American way. If you ever want to know that we live in a simulation, that song played on the radio in the small Canadian town where I grew up. Reasons? I mean, I guess, you know, if your song's good and it has a nationalistic message, doesn't even need to really be about the country that is being played in, but on a realistic level, kind of bizarre. Things were, you know, that period is a very strange time in modern human history. Anyway, we got hit once. We are going to get the ability to fly. I actually think that the ability to fly is substantially better than Box of Friends. I'll tell you straight up. For Boss Rush, it don't get any better than using Box of Friends. But for the rest of the game, I think Box of Friends is kind of trash. As is, you know, Lilith in general. But still, down to the next floor. No, I did not take Ghost Pepper. I mean, I should have. Yeah, and you know, the classic counter argument to that is just it should do a lot of things that probably won't matter in the whole scheme of things, like, you know, drinking water, paying your taxes, and telling my mom I love her, etc., etc. See, those are all jokes in case if you listen to one or two of those and you went, heck yeah, brother, you know. The joke was on you is the thing about that. So I hope that you'll, you know, take another look and reframe how you think about those things and you know, move on accordingly. I'm not, you know, we won the last run as Lazarus, having gone to the dark room. It was a pretty strong win. Now, the run was not particularly strong. It wasn't over-the-top strong, at least, but it was obviously capable. This is the perfect opportunity for that. It's filled me with at least a little bit of confidence that we can accomplish a win on this run. I'm not, like, you know, suffering a constitutional crisis of faith or anything like that here. A little mixed metaphor. Hemolacria seems like a huge upgrade here. I'll just call it like I see it. I've said a lot of negative things about this item, and I think it is bringing it so far. It's a good base for a sort of zany run as well. It's been like 5 videos since I said the word zane, so I'm starting to get a little stir-crazy. You know what? I've always had a bone to pick. Who comes up with the rules of language? I know it's probably not like, you know, madame language or something like that, but who says mixing metaphors is bad? It feels like something, like half of the things I understand if you're like, you know, I work for the New York Times, we cite all of our sources in this format. That's important for consistency and, you know, credibility and stuff like that. But when it comes to like, well, don't you mean and I? Who comes up with that rule? Sincerely, I'm asking. Doesn't it seem like we're probably just, you know, taking the opinion of one, you know, grammar professional? I don't know what they're called. A grammatist? A linguist? From like, you know, 500 years ago and just kind of running with it. Actually, it's not octopuses, it's octopi. Even though that's false. Who cares? That rule doesn't make sense. Here's a good rule for you. No running on the pool deck. You know why that's a good rule? Don't take that yet. That's extremely great. I've never been happier. The game has stopped treating me like a second-class citizen, and look at that. Now we have Brimstone. Ooh. We have Brimstone, Hemolacria, the ability to fly, Magic Mush for double damage. Look at this Brimstone Hemolacria synergy. Isaac is good again. Call off the dogs. We made it. Oh boy, this seems cool. Plus, I mean, we got Empty Vessel now, so we could have kept Box of Friends, which would have made for a good situation, but you know, we can just forget about it. That's what I get for not having faith. Who comes up with these rules? You know, a rule like no running on the pool deck. You know why you have that rule? Both Austin and I have an origin story for that rule. The swimming instructor said, no running on the deck, and then I ran on the deck, slipped because my feet were wet, and cracked my nose open on the tile. To their credit, before anybody asked if I was okay, now this is back in the much harder days of the early 1990s, but before anybody asked if I was okay, they said, now do you understand why there's no running on the deck? And I said yes. You know, I was a very rational young adult, I'd like to think, much like today. But a grammar rule, I think you could make the same argument that it tries to enforce some kind of standard, but, you know, literally grammar is like the best example, in my opinion, of rules are made to be broken. Not just because you can make more creative, you know, use of the language in some situations by breaking the rules, but also on... Right, we can't necessarily fly thanks to Empty Vessel, that's fair. We need to get rid of our existing HP. But, you know, you've heard of stuff like Poetic License, you know, there's... Breaking the laws of the language can be very useful for you if you're trying to make a point or, you know, have artistry in your language and stuff like that. But beyond that, literally, it feels like those rules of grammar exist exclusively to be called out by Poindexters who want to make themselves feel superior to you because they remember one arbitrary rule about the use of, you know, your diction. And I don't support it. You can talk however you'd like around me. Now, do I sometimes use some $5 words? Yeah, I'd like to think so. With inflation, though, really, we're talking about words that might be as much as $8.50 in the 2018 economy. Yo, I love that we got Deal with the Devil access. We didn't have to use that, but I'm glad we did. We should get an error room out of this. Well, no, we probably won't get an error room out of it. Just because I mean, without being able to see the map, it's so unlikely we're going to be able to pinpoint where, like, a secret room is. All of our secret rooms, really. But we may not even try. Don't shoot the messenger, okay? This is the kind of... It actually feels like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders, no joke. It's like, it's a real Isaac run that's good. If not, I would say even beyond great. It's a real Isaac run that's, like, amazing right now. So, like, if our rate of fire comes up in particular, it doesn't need to come up very much for it to be useful here, but if our rate of fire comes up, like, this could be a fantastic run. Also, anything that gives us more shots out of Hemolacria, and I'll just level with you, I got no idea how that happens, but If we can make it happen, I'll be a very happy man. On top of this, we haven't even seen... No, we did see our item room. That was what gave us golden teleporter. Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, this is... I mean, I don't even know if I've ever had the Hemolacria Brimstone synergy. Again, I've said some negative things about this item in the past. You know, things that would indicate that I've never really had a great synergy going on with it. So, I'm a very happy man. So, we will definitely not pop the strength potion here. Kind of Gordon Ramsay'd you there. We will definitely not be putting your cauliflower buffalo wings on the menu tonight. Because they're going on the menu permanently. The menu are put in the trash can. The trash can is the name of my rest. Is a Key and Peele bit at this point. But you know, sometimes I get mad. Not just a Key and Peele. Because like if you've... Every sketch comedy show suffers from the same problem. Which is that the clips go viral. And they're amazing. Like legitimately, Key and Peele was on the air for like 3 seasons. That show has some brilliant sketches. And some sketches that are not brilliant but are hilarious for reasons I can't even understand. There's like an essay that could be written about the sketch. And it would be very self-indulgent. Or it would be a very indulgent essay to begin with. But the sketch where the guy goes to the continental breakfast and just mispronounces everything. I have no idea what makes it hilarious, but it gets me every time. The worst part of that sketch is where he shouts, "I love being incontinent." Because, like, I get it. It's just way more... Like, when he eats the yogurt, and he goes, "It's like Go-Gurt, but to stay." I don't know what it is. It's dumb, but it took a very smart mind to come up with it. Anyway, that show has some amazing sketches. If you ever watch a full episode of it, about 60% of them you never want to see again. And that's true for everything. Except that's actually, like, an absurdly high batting average. Saturday Night Live is literally like, there's one sketch a week. There's like 3 out of 90 minutes where you're like, that's hilarious. And then the rest of it, you're like, man, that's like borderline clever. I'm not insulting them. I think the same is probably true for this very episode you're watching right here. I'm just saying, you know, all these comedy shows, they got the same problem. Even, hey, have you ever seen the Mitchell and Webb situation? The Mitchell and Webb? Yeah, I've seen it. Some brilliant bits on those shows. A lot of them don't need to be seen again. You know what do you need to see again? I'm looking for a gift for my aunt. Great sketch. Are we the baddies? Great sketch. The one where David Mitchell goes into the store and pretends to buy things, but really it's all just a pretense to buy the, you know, 2 tall cans of the cheapest beer that he can without being judged. Great sketch. Humor geniuses, but even the geniuses, they're only batting like 25 in a show in which you gotta put, you know, 13 sketches up all the time. Mad TV, don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. Anyway, what was I talking about that led to that? I don't even remember. Headless baby, qu'est-ce que c'est? Fa 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 fa. That's why they're so good in, like, virality. That's why I'm glad Key and Peele stopped when they did. Because, like, I think they had a lot of great sketches. The sketch where there's, like, the Make-A-Wish kid who's also possessed by Satan. And, of course, the classic, yo, but you said it, though? Anyway. Dude, you're a coward if you don't take this. Don't take my incubus. It didn't take incubus, thank God. Sacrificial dagger. Spirit of the... It is the spirit of the night. The night was the spirit of the night. Dude, we got invincibility occasionally thanks to Empty Vessel. So we're going to look for some secret rooms and have some fun here. We don't need to press that. Yeah, we're good. I've been watching, like, way more TV lately. And I'm here to tell you. It's, TV gets a bad rap. It also, I mean, it had dominance for like way too long, and there is an unbelievable amount of garbage on television. I mean, I don't know if we have like, there's like 3 worthwhile channels on television, but those channels I respect. Here I go in my 5-paragraph essay detailing the 3 television channels I respect. Channel number 1, the Food Network. Why do I respect it? There's no pretense on the Food Network. Now, has it gotten a little bit, you know, everything has to be a reality show? Yes. That's a sign of the times. I don't watch a whole lot of the Food Network, to be honest with you. But I like that it's like, hey, you know what I want to see right now? People cooking things. Problem solved. Do I have a network for you, my friend? Channel number 2 that I respect, your local news affiliate. Why do I respect it? Nobody that works for that television station is ever going major market. You know, they're not in it for like, oh boy, I hope the 6 o'clock news is a real breakout success. I'm not saying they're in it for the love of the game, but there's something like, you know, there's like a certain down-homey charm about the local news. And it varies city to city. It gives it a little bit of a flavor. Like, you know, I live in a major metropolitan area. We have the CBC Vancouver headquarters, obviously in Vancouver, but it's like one of the major affiliates for our national broadcasting organization. We got Andrew Chang. He's a national news anchor. Still, because it's the local news, we end up with stories sometimes that are like, very hairy situation today as a local Vancouver resident, let me rephrase, make it insular. A local East Van resident yelled at a youth in their yard today for stepping on their kale while they were playing mobile game sensation Pokemon Go. And I don't know, I don't think those people should be in my backyard playing the dang old Pokemon, man. Haha. In other news, no murders yet again. See you tomorrow. We do have murders. There's just not that many, I guess. Hey, Macarena, thank you. 3rd channel, I don't know. I was kind of coming up with this whole bit on the fly. So, like, you know, I do respect more channels than that. I respect HBO. I should pick it up to protect the Bone Heart, but I don't want to protect the Bone Heart. What I want to do instead is get rid of our Red Heart. So there we go. Grab that as well. You know what? We should be donating a bunch of money. Maybe not on this run, but why not? You know, we donate money now, we don't have to donate it later. I also thought maybe it would be nice to buy our 11th key. I don't know if you guys were in the same boat there. That was not an accident. That was intentional. Wow. Battery charges, of course, very useful, helping us find the rooms we need to find in order to get a guaranteed devil room, which we already have thanks to Goathead. Disregard. Guaranteed access either way to an error room then. Now, is this boss rush worthy? If you don't do boss rush, you're a coward. If you have the chance. Right now, we're a little bit, very, very slightly behind schedule. So we could teleport out of here. I'm not gonna, though. We got conflicting priorities here between boss rush and also, like, literally having to explore absolutely every room, but stay on the go for now. I haven't been watching, just to be clear, I've been watching like a troubling amount of TV. I should not have picked that up. It's more just like, here's the thing. We still count as empty vessel? I don't know why, but I'm happy with it. Oh, because we have Spirit of the Night, you fool. Naturally. Like, the way that our apartment is laid out, you know, my office is like basically a little converted closet in like the south portion of our very small apartment, and my wife's office is in the very northerly part of it, which is still not that far away. But you know, if we spent all of our leisure time playing computer games or doing stuff on the internet, watching videos like that, etc., we would never see each other. So sometimes we'll just be in the living room hanging out, and then we'll have the television on. That's how we got into our recent Hell's Kitchen pseudo obsession. I gotta tell you, it's a fantastic show. Height of human drama never before seen on primetime television. Anyway, I'll go ahead and say it. I'll shoot the messenger. Primetime, not primetime TV necessarily, but TV in general, if I'm gonna watch something mindlessly, give me that over YouTube. And I know you're like, I'm trying not to break the spell. If you guys are like, wait a minute, I could just be watching a program that, you know, dozens of people worked on instead of just one man making it in his apartment. Yeah, but don't. But I'm gonna. So, like, the thing is, it's nice, you know? I get... To be fair, I don't know if dozens of people work on the stuff that I watch, because I largely do watch, like, some reality TV junk food, more or less. Oh, now we're talking. Why didn't I take the HP? I don't know, in my dumb head, I'm still like, we don't want it. We got empty vessel. Oh, thank you. They're both extremely good. So I think we should rush and try to make boss rush, to be honest. I don't know why you... Oh, you stepped on the spikes. We have one sincere problem right now, and it's rate of fire. The run, the DPS in particular, is still incredible right now. But we do need to up this rate of fire. It would be nice to up the rate of fire to make sure that we make it to boss rush. The one annoying thing about this right now, you're also noticing, when I shoot a shot, it collides with an enemy, and then none of the shots, like none of the beams move in the direction of that enemy. It makes me want to chew glass, man. That's like... It's like I collided a shot with you and then all the beams missed. We almost had that situation right there. Now, sometimes we miss a shot and all the beams hit, so, you know, I'm not really trying to shoot the messenger right now. There's another example right there. I didn't have anywhere to go with that TV bit, so we're gonna stall and squander it. All I'm saying is TV gets a bad rap, man. You know what gave me a greater appreciation for television, straight up, was being on Champions of Fire. No joke. I know that, like, for those of you at home, Champions of Fire is like a meme, and it is. I mean, everybody there is like, this is silly. Nobody there is going, I wanna, this is like my ticket, you know? You gotta check. I knew there was a chance we should still kill him easily. But to make the silly product known as Champions of Fire come to fruition, take the negative. It took an unbelievable amount of, like, human effort and work. You know, producers, caterers, organizers, 2 hosts, a whole production staff of, like, you know, trained camera and sound people. We were getting mic'd up with, you know, lavalier mics when we went into the green room. There were makeup artists there if you wanted it to happen, you know? And then on top of that, there's all the, you know, the business dealings behind the scenes that ever led to it happening in the first place. Amazon, CBS Sports executives, the people who worked at the studios that developed the games to be featured on Champions of Fire, like, is a staggering human toll. That made me realize, you know, there really is no such thing as low-effort entertainment. Low-effort television, I guess I should say. Because this is low-effort entertainment. Just coasting on what I hope is natural charisma. And hoping it never runs dry. But, you know, and that's not... You shouldn't just watch something because, like, a lot of work went into it. That's not the way that the world, I mean, really should work, to be honest. Like, I'm sure a lot of people worked on, you know, the Son of the Mask, starring Jamie Kennedy. That doesn't mean you should watch it. You know, you should watch whatever you want to watch, for the most part. But it's, you know, even watching a show like Big Brother. You know what actually strikes me about watching something like Hell's Kitchen? As a kid, you're just like, yeah, whatever, they're cooking. As an adult, I'm like, oh my god. How long do you think the producers are in meetings to come up with the incredibly dumb challenges they do all the time? Have you ever been in a meeting? It's hell, and not of the kitchen variety. And then you know that they were having, you know, heated arguments and, like, personal disputes. Jenny doesn't want to do the tongue twister challenge. She says one of the contestants could accidentally say something off color. I want to do it because I think it'll be good for the ratings. 6 other shows have done tongue twister challenges, and, you know, their ratings were 3% higher that week as compared to the previous week, year over year, you know? I guarantee conversations like that happen on the regular. And I have great sympathy for the producers involved, even the ones who were initiating that conversation. Not to mention, you know what I know I'm talking way too much about Hell's Kitchen, but you know what I really love about Hell's Kitchen is the the celebrities who go to Hell's Kitchen as of like season 17, season 18, no longer is it like, you know, Super Bowl winning quarterback Tom Brady. It's always like, he played a corpse in one episode of Law & Order SVU. And then they flash to the guy and he's like, well, this risotto is delicious. Okay, he could have said it like, this risotto is delicious. I'm not the, what are you, a cop? So we got Immaculate Conception. We totally screwed up our hearts, but that's okay. We're not going to worry. This is typically where we stop worrying about Golden Teleporter. Get yourself a Gul'dan Teleporter. Like, I'll put it into perspective. We were watching an episode of Hell's Kitchen, and they were like, the atmosphere's electric at Hell's Kitchen as Hollywood's brightest and hungriest sit down at a table in the hottest restaurant in the city, including Law & Order SVU actor Joe Montana. And I went, whoa, really? This is it must be sweeps week if Joe Montana is dining in Hell's Kitchen. And I often wondered as well, like, you know, how does it work? If you're a celebrity and you dine in Hell's Kitchen, I don't think you... Well, let me rephrase. Does anybody in Hell's Kitchen pay for the meal? Like, do patrons of Hell's Kitchen pay? Is it hard to get in? I imagine so. For the... if you're not of Joe Montana's level, at least. But I imagine it has to be free, right? They're not going to make you pay for the food in Hell's Kitchen and then also use your likeness. Or, you know, sometimes I imagine this production stuff gets super weird. Maybe, just remember to go to Shoal, please. Maybe you pay to eat there, but they also pay you scale because you're technically a television actor at that point. I know that sounds brain dead. There might be, that might actually be correct though, and I'm being sincere. I don't know. This lady who lost an MMA fight 4 years ago is dining in Hell's Kitchen. The reason I started thinking about it was not just because my head is broken. It's more like, there was one episode we were watching, and the lady that was ordering went, I'll have the most expensive thing on the menu, which is a really weird thing to say. And I'll tell you why. There's a trap involved there. The hometown that I lived in and also went to college, there's a brew pub. And this is before, like that was everywhere. It was like a really cool place. We're like, oh my god, they brew their own beer here. Literally no other place in a 100-kilometer radius does that. But you know what the most expensive thing on the menu was? I forget what it was called. It was something like the High Roller Special. It was a bottle of Dom Perignon and a basket of onion rings. 200 bucks. Excuse me. $200. You get a bottle of champagne and some onion rings. Now, I'm not trying to say that it's not worth it, because I mean, like, it's literally worth it, right? Like, if you were to buy the bottle of champagne, it would probably cost you that, and then you get the onion rings for free. But is it what you want for dinner when you go to Hell's Kitchen? Probably not, right? Also, you're in a restaurant that's being filmed for television. Like, there are people in the restaurant with you who have more money than you could ever dream of, I'd imagine. Like, it's possible, is admittedly possible, that she might have a net worth higher than Gordon Ramsay's. But if you're in that kind of like, you know, I don't know, double comma club, maybe not quite, but still, who's going to be impressed by you ordering the most expensive thing on the menu? You know, I saw this bit, not a bit, it was an interview with Shaquille O'Neal, and he was talking about, like, why he has done well with money, whereas a lot of the people that, you know, over their NBA careers could have made as much money as he did, ended up going broke later. And he was like, you know, I had a team around me that forced me to be financially responsible, but that doesn't mean, like, I couldn't still have, like, a fun time. Like, one time, me and Mike Tyson went to the Rolls-Royce dealership, and, you know, he bought a Rolls, so I couldn't be made, like, to be punked out, so I bought 2 Rolls, and you're like, okay. You know, that's the kind of, that's the market you're dealing with, and she's going, can I have the most expensive thing on the menu? You're gonna impress Gordon Ramsay? Doubt it. Let me see for a second here. This is very important. I shouldn't, but I'm gonna. Strike while the iron is hot. Just think about it. The more we accomplish on this Lilith run, the more reason we have to avoid Lilith in the future. I don't even know if we want... we might not want any of that, I guess, is what I should say. Now, I think I will take Gift and try to turn it into a normal item. Okay, that's terrible. We will certainly take Daddy's long leg. Fate is HP. Oh, well, I guess it would be nice to be able to fly 3 ways. I wish that there were some days where I could just get one. But this Lilith run is looking pretty boop boop. And boop 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 boop. You get it. It's Faith. One of those songs you can't help but just go ka-dun, 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 ka-dun. So I actually thought a lowered shot speed might be advantageous for us the more I thought about it, because a tier might die before it travels as far as it has to right now, which means that we get the effects of it faster. But what I'm really hoping for is for this to be a super armor breaking run and just basically dominate Hush by doing incredibly high damage to him. You know, in discrete bursts. And that's also why I'm actually, like, reasonably happy to have multi-dimensional baby. The idea being, you know, if we get doubled the brimstone shots, seems very good. So far, this fight's going fantastically. Doing a great job at taking care of the flies. Yeah, okay. I mean, things don't always go exactly according to plan, but, you know, this one, absolutely they are. We will not do Void on this run yet. It does seem possible, doesn't it? If we're gonna do Void, we should really do it, like, right away. We should not wait and see if we get a chance. Thank you, Blind Rage. Actually prevented us from taking some damage there. So, Hemolacria, congrats, you're back in the good books. Yeah. That was very good. Incubus has appeared in the basement, and all's well that ends well. Sorry, that's my microphone arm. So, I will say, of course, you know, I like our odds right now. I would like some more HP. You almost never have to say this when you have, like, so unbelievably many different ways of flying, but I would really like some speed upgrades. I just blew up one of the most likely ways to get it, but, you know, it was at great risk. So, I mean, straight up, I don't mind whatever you give me, even just raw HP is, you know, is more of a resource, is fuel for the future. I don't mind coming across Void right away. If things go wrong, we'll just teleport out. Certainly prefer to come across Blast Assist and pick up an item that's literally worthless, but hey, you got a mic. Easy money. Shouldn't call it literally worthless, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I think we got great odds. I would still, I know that we've really raised our rate of fire by like 20%, which is a lot right now at least. But I'd still like to raise it a little bit more. If we could shoot, I mean, this is egregious, but if we could shoot twice as fast as we're shooting right now, this run would be an all-time great. As is right now, is very, very good. But it's the inconsistency of, like, where the Hemolacria Brim Beams go. My favorite character from Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings. Hemolacria Brimbeams. I believe he used the elvish blacksmith who forged the One Ring for Sauron. He's making a joke about Celebrimbor. I see somebody here has played WB Games classic Shadow of War, Shadow of Mordor. When you name the games so similar, I always forget which one's first. One of them was really good, introduced the Nemesis system. I heard the other one was really good, but also got kind of a bad rap because of the whole, microtransaction thing that they had set up. But still, I probably should have played it, but I kind of missed my window, because of the controversy. You don't want to be the guy playing the controversial game when it's controversial, but then, you also don't want to be the guy playing a controversial game like 4 years after it comes out. People just kind of stop caring. But it's a business concern. It's proving somewhat difficult to actually hit Mom's heart here. Thank God. Wow. Okay, never mind. There is no God or God is dead. Your preferred Nietzsche quote. The troll engine is God now. Sister Vis, what's your price for flight? Give me a tears up. Two of spades. I'm very happy actually to have I didn't think there could be a room here. How messed up would it be? I know it's not possible, but if this was delirium on this tiny room. Big boss on a little room. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, I forget. I'm happy to have Rune Bag, because if we get Algiz, not a guaranteed win, but a much, much better chance. Even though I'd say that we've done pretty well on the, the Void so far. Just, I'm weirdly enough, not that concerned about hitting Delirium, because he's everywhere. What I'm concerned about is getting hit by him before we can kill him, do enough damage. Which, I mean, at the core is basically what you worry about every time, I guess. But, I'm realizing now, I can't believe I haven't asked for this earlier. If we get Homing Tears, it's the greatest run of all time. Like 15 Brimstone lasers that just destroy an enemy on contact. How did we not get hit? The most blessed sack dagger in human history. Yeah, if we get Homing Tears, there's just nothing to say. It's over. It might be over fast. Saw we have another rune. That was my bad. I doubled back on my own dodge. Not Homing Tears, but, quite a nice damage upgrade regardless. I will take Dagaz right away. Range down. Got me on my knees, range down. Again, long run. We've been having some long ones. I can't believe you died first. That's okay. This is a long run for all the right reasons. Definitely, don't forget about Black Rune. Statistics or attributes don't necessarily mean that much to us right now, but we'll take what we can get. Like a damage upgrade. We're obviously not going to reroll. I hope it's obvious, at least. Now, if you want to see Isaac Privilege in action, I have so much damage, but it takes a minute to come out when we shoot. So most of the time, I'm hitting these enemies with Sack Dagger now, just because it's faster. Despite being, probably a little bit more dangerous, bare minimum. Not much we could do about that. Well, no, we could have teleported, I guess, but... Alright, I'm at the point where I'm ready, I think. This should count. I shouldn't gloss over it. Our own impact damage, the damage that our... Oh, dodge right into it. The damage that our shots do when they touch the enemy, not even when the beams come out, is still pretty okay. It's definitely not the driving force of this run, but It's something. Now, have we had this? Or sorry, have we gotten close to the bookworm, is what I mean to say? And the answer was yes, so we'll suck all this up. Could have done something with Yera for sure, but let me just level with you. Who cares? Who cares about Yeras at this point? It's not like we can double an item pedestal. Strange room. Okay, other items that would be 10 out of 10 as we take forever here. Sad bombs would obviously be exceptional. I can't believe by indiscriminately going into boss rooms, we're still going to hit Delirium last. This is what we're talking about. If we can shoot... Take me far away, please. If we can shoot a bookworm shot through multi-dimensional baby, that's like 5 times the damage we're used to doing. Please, I would like to fight Delirium. I just want to know where I stand at this point. Now, to do Boss Rush, Hush, and Delirium all in the same video, that's a big one. That's the kind of run where you know, sure, maybe I've had a couple of Lilith runs get squandered. Hey, this one's worth a couple just by itself, so. Now, I don't know what breaks Delirium. Sometimes it just seems to happen, but this seems like the kind of run where if we hit with beams on the right configuration of whatever boss is coming out there, like we could inadvertently take off like 30% of this boss's HP at once. It happens from time to time for reasons unbeknownst. This is a very, very strong greed run. Should probably be standing in Succubus, but... Or in Succubus's range, at least, obviously. Oh, this is good stuff. Stay still as Hush, please. I feel like Mom's Foot also gets bodied, but typically it's like the hollow. Mahalo to you as well, friend. Maybe even that, you know, Chubb could be. So we're going to win, and that much is becoming extremely clear. And this represents a great redemption for me personally. After having a bunch of bad Lilith runs, you know, we sucked it up. We said, okay, maybe the items aren't that good so far. Doesn't matter. We got more than enough later. And, you know, as much as it might be stronger if it was just Brimstone, it's a fun synergy. Hemolacria Brimstone. Take me away. This is a great run. What do you got for me? Well, it's more spun opportunities. Hey, for now, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. It was a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. See ya. Follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Northernlion. Be notified when I go live in the future. For now, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. See ya.